just want to talk about my state really quickly, since we're talking about the border and how my colleagues have been down there once or twice, and so they feel like they know everything that happens at my border because they go on a little field trip. I appreciate what you do because you are taking a multifaceted look. You're looking at the criminal aspect. You're looking at not just cash, but you're looking at crypto. You're also looking at more than one country, more than just Mexico. You're looking to try to solve the solutions while also making sure that those that are addicted get treatment instead of put into jail cells. And so I appreciate the work that you do. I hope that my colleagues understand that it's not so simple as let's just blame the border and we'll fix all the problems. I live in this state. I have also legislated specifically in this state, the state of Texas. And recently, my governor, who seemingly does nothing but atrocious things, decided that he was going to order that migrants, and this doesn't say it, but specifically the headlines that we saw were children as well as pregnant mothers, be pushed back into the Rio Grande. Currently, the DOJ is suing my governor because he decided that he wanted to use razor wire. This is not fixing fentanyl, as far as I'm concerned. Because you're the expert, do you believe that razor wire or ordering that women and pregnant mothers and children be pushed into the water, do you believe that that's fixing our fentanyl crisis?
Thank you, Congressman, for that question. I would say majority of the fentanyl is coming through the ports of entry, and our focus should be where the problem is predominantly.
Thank you so much. You can go ahead. And when you talk about ports of entry, I want to be clear, because sometimes in this chamber it seems like we only have one border and only one way to get into the United States, and somehow it's through Mexico. I just want to be clear. There's a northern border. There's also plains. Are you of the impression that drugs only come from Mexico?
Thank you, Congressman. Oftentimes, machinery parts like pill presser parts, dye-mold parts, they will come through other countries to the United States and smuggled southwards to be built into pill pressers. So there's the business traffic goes in all directions and across all ways in order to produce the final product.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us, because I think we need to go back to step one in this process. You don't know it, but I practiced criminal law for almost 17 years in multiple states and on the federal level. I was on the defense side, so I dealt with people that were arrested for drug crimes. One of the things that I want to talk about is the difference in fentanyl and, say, cocaine. Cocaine is typically not prescribed by somebody's doctor, but it's my understanding that most people that are struggling with fentanyl are people that have become sometimes addicted to opioids because they were prescribed opioids. And it may have been for a car wreck. I also did those as well. Have a back issue. And ultimately, the doctor takes you off, but because of the addictive nature, you're going out and you're trying to get it wherever you can. And so it sounds like we have a demand problem, number one. Would you agree with me that if we could reduce demand, then maybe people wouldn't be looking to supply where there was no demand?
I think it's both sides, and I think, as you very accurately said, that a lot of people, I have prescribed people and who've gone on the streets and then ended up in heroin and fentanyl as well, so I have a really direct experience with some of that work as well.
Absolutely. And so also, one of the things that is so frustrating to me is that we don't treat this as something that is multifaceted. You talked about, it's not just the southern border, it's all things connected. It's not just saying, that the cartels are the problem, which I think we can all agree. That is one thing that we can all agree upon. The cartels are a problem for a lot of different reasons, and it's not just fentanyl. But one of the things that you talked about was locals. I believe that the National Drug Control Strategy notes that local problems need local solutions. Is that correct?
Yes, Congressman.
And ONDCP is responsible for administering a grant program specifically focused on local solutions, the Drug-Free Communities Support Program. Correct?
Correct.
All right. And I'm going to agree with you. As somebody who has had to deal with multiple clients that have been addicted, and as someone who is a black woman in this country, The 94 crime bill was a failure. And seemingly the only solutions that we ever have is more and more incarceration. The last thing that I'll say is, in a very bipartisan way, I have introduced the STRIP Act, and that is to make sure that these fentanyl testing strips can get to the people that need them, so that even if they're struggling with addiction, they have the ability to test and to determine whether or not this odorless, this tasteless thing is actually laced within the product that they receive. Would you agree with me, things that such as testing strips are invaluable to helping us fight this war?
Yes, Congressman, we will happy to work with you on that as well.
Thank you. With that, I'll you back.